customer know their choices. If they are working with you, they are loyal to you. So it is your responsibility to make sure you give the right experience to this customer by using multiple new tools, old tools. Your turnaround time should be fast. And customer in today's day, they don't have patience. They want things faster. And that is what we as a tech founders, entrepreneurs, as a business leader need to understand. Customer success, customer experience is a key to scale a business.
We have with us Mr. Rajdip Gupta. Mr. Rajdip Gupta's journey with Route Mobile is a compelling story of entrepreneurial vision and execution. Starting from scratch in 2004, he navigated the complexities of the digital communications landscape to build a globally recognized, publicly listed unicorn. This speaks volumes about his strategic acumen, resilience, and his ability to anticipate the market trends. He didn't just build a company, he built a platform that enables businesses to connect with their customers across multiple channels. Beyond his professional achievements, his passion for cricket and his dedication to mentoring the aspiring entrepreneurs reveal a well-rounded individual who's committed to giving back to the society. So, welcome, Mr. Gupta. My first question to you would be, Route Mobile's journey is certainly inspiring. Many struggle to keep that startup magic as they grow. So what's your secret to maintaining that entrepreneurial fire and agility? So are there any specific practices or structures you found specifically helpful in doing so?
So as I mentioned, it is very, very critical for me as a tech founder, like fear of failure. And I think when I was building Route Mobile, I think every single day I had this question in my mind whether I'm going to get success or not. But on the other side, I had the conviction also. I had the courage, but I had a conviction also that yes, my product will work. But then I have two side of mind. And I think that one fear of failure aspect of me let me put more effort, more time, because I don't want to fail. It's not about that I want to prove the world that I am become successful, but really I want to make sure that what conviction I have for my product, I need to deliver product on time. I need to make sure I get a customer on time. If a product is getting delivered on time, then only I will have a customer. I think these are the few areas where I really struggled, you can say, or it really worked in my favor. So I think that fear of failure really helped me a lot to achieve this success. And to just share with you, after even getting this kind of success, I'm still having that fear of failure. Now the fear of failure is different. What I have built, can that fail tomorrow? And I think that is still the reason why I'm still innovating, that I'm still working with the new team, trying to understand new technologies. And I think as a tech founder's life is full of learning new things, And one area where we believe that why Route Mobile has become successful, because we always started thinking 2 years ahead of the time. Can I build a product which may have a requirement after 2 years? And I think that mindset is also required as a tech founder to start thinking about the future. And that's what we did. And probably one of the reasons why we become successful with this.
Wonderful. And how do you ensure that the decision making still remains quick?
I think for any startup, like this startup ecosystem itself and the founders, like tech founders, I think they want everything go very fast. Sometimes they make wrong decision also because the demand is so high. Like if you're got an investor, fortunately we didn't have any investor during that time, so we have little bit relaxed mindset. But I know nowadays founders, they have raised so much different rounds and too much money raised to the startup, to the company. So there are lots of pressures coming from investor also that they need to deliver every quarter on quarter or year on year basis. But I think it is definitely that pressure is not there with us, and I think that's another problem we see right now. But as a tech founder, you really need to balance the thing. That's what I can tell you.
Great. Now, These days, people say customer experience is the king. So, how does Route Mobile make sure you are not just meeting but exceeding the customer demands? So, what's your approach to getting the customer feedback, number one? And how do you use it to improve your products or services and the overall customer journey?
See, I think that now there is a lots of tools because of AI. As I said, your customer is a king, right? If you don't have a customer, you don't have a business. And if your customers are not happy, you still don't have a business.
Yes.
Right? So you can build a great product and it can solve every single problem the world is looking at. But if you don't have customer support, because your sales team can go and sell, but to support the product, you need customer support as well. So customer support is a very critical aspect of any businesses you can talk about. We at Root Mobile are using AI tools now. As I said, we are collecting our data set of last 20 years. How my customer has responded in past. If you see the customer queries are almost the same. 90% of the queries are almost the same. And in that case, if I'm having said 100 agents or 70 agents who are solving this customer problem online, offline, whatever way, can I use that AI model to have the data set and let bot start talking with the customer? I think that's one change we have seen in customer support nowadays. Many companies are doing, we are also doing. 70% of your problems are solved by the bot. And that is quick because you don't need to call a call center and wait for minutes or hours to get a response. People are definitely not looking at that. As a customer experience, my experience is I have a problem, I want answer immediately. That is what the customers are looking at right now. If we as a company are putting on a hold, like you can wait for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or I maybe reply after 3 days, you are losing the whole plot. The reason? There is a competition. If you are not going to serve that customer, the customer has a different choice. So I think the way market has changed now, the customer has a multiple choice. So you can't say that my product is only one product and my company is only one company who can serve this customer. No, customer know their choices. If they are working with you, they are loyal to you. So it is your responsibility to make sure you give the right experience to this customer by using multiple new tools, old tools. Your turnaround time should be fast. And customer in today's day, they don't have patience. They want things faster. And that is what we as our tech founders, entrepreneurs, as a business leader need to understand. Customer success, customer experience is a key to scale a business.
Wonderful. So customization and scalability can go hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
Wonderful. Now, lots of leaders talk about vision, but actually making it happen is the hard part. So how do you get your team excited about your vision and how do you inspire them to actively contribute in achieving the same? Any particular stories you would want to share?
Yeah, I'll tell you the story about my IPO, so I think 3 years before the IPO, we decided we will give 5% of our equity as a ESOP. And it is about 1,000 crore if you take that number. And we identified about 150 people, including our office boys, our drivers, everybody is included in that. And I wanted to make sure that people who are around me from last 15, 16 years during the IPO should get the benefit of this, because I always believed that the person who's serving coffee on time is also helping your brain to work. Because if you're not getting coffee on time on your desk, somehow you're not productive. So that office boy who's serving coffee on time is also responsible for the growth of the company. And the driver who's bringing on time to the office is also responsible for the growth of the company. So I think that's exactly where when we gave the whole IPO sheet, allotment to our employees. And many of them said, oh, this is just a paper, right? And some people said, oh, will this work or not? This is just a paper. If the IPO doesn't happen, how will this paper has a value? On paper, it looks like crores of rupees when we sign those documents. Then there are team, they came with me and I called all the team. I said, raise your hand. How many of you are with me if the IPO doesn't happen? And how many of you are there if IPO happens? The most of the team said, sir, we are not here to just IPO to happen.
Okay.
We are here to support you to let the IPO happens. Okay, it is the team who plays a very critical role in your growth. That team which I have built in last 20 years, they said it is not the journey we are with you to make money out of it. We are making enough money in terms of salaries. But to see you successful, we are there with you. And if you are successful, we all are successful. And I think that is where I tell people, like, you really need to build a core team and trust your core team. Like, I think the trust and the loyalty of your employees are very critical. I think nowadays everybody is just want to change jobs, like they're getting 10% hike, 15% hike, they just switch job from one to other. But I think people need to think about the longevity of their life cycle. Like, you can learn a lot of things if you stick with one company for a long. The ups and downs and changes, everything you can learn from there, right? If you're just running for the money, probably you will get money, but you will not learn, or you will not become an entrepreneur. You work with an entrepreneur and you work with his success. One day you will understand every single journey and the struggle he has gone through, and maybe you can learn from that mistakes or learning to build your own company. But if you really want to just work and make money, it will not last for long. Like, I always tell people, the core team is a very critical for your growth. I become whatever I am today just because of my people. And I think that is where I can tell you the loyalty of people and your core team, and believe that you believe in their vision and they believe in your vision, is very critical.
Wonderful. So you've identified the pulses of them. Wonderful. We all know that you're passionate about mentoring young entrepreneurs. So what drives you to do it, and what's the most rewarding part of this experience?
So I'll tell you, I dealt with many young entrepreneurs. Like, I think I keep on telling them, don't go for this race of raising fund. Like, in now this startup ecosystem, it's like a hustler environment. Like, everybody want to hustle, they want to have this poker party, they want to have this events and everything every single day, and they get disappointed if they see his friend is raise money and he's not able to raise money. So he's more worried about his friend is raising money and he's not able to raise money. Then he start questioning about his own startup. Oh, my startup may not work because I'm not able to raise money. But you should believe in your product. Your conviction about your product is the first key thing. Don't look at the word. What word is doing, how they raise fund, why they raise fund is secondary. Build a product which has a solid use case, which has a solid market. Have a conviction of that and go to the market and say, okay, I'm building something which will solve my problem as well as the customer problem. So I think I suggest there's no need to raise multiple rounds. Have one round or two round. Use that money sensibly. Grow a little slower. Generate enough cash. Be cash positive. Be profitable. Profitable businesses all over the world are the key now. It is not people want a business who can just generate revenues. End of the day, everybody is looking out for profit. And every single investor is looking for a profit. If you're not making profit, your business is not there, right? So I think that is where I am. Some of my advice I keep giving these people, and I've seen many young entrepreneurs following me and taking these steps towards a profitable company environment. And they said, okay, I might be 1 year behind, but I'm profitable. And I think that is more, you're 2 years ahead of your other company who's raised multiple round and burning cash. And they every single quarter they look for the runway, that how much runway I have, how much money I have in my bank, whether I can pay salary to my employees or not. But you, as a profitable company, you're paying to your employees as well as you're generating cash. So I think these are the few things really work with some of these young founders, and I really want to share through this podcast also, because guys, remember one thing: the cash flow is a king and the profit is everything. I know there are models which is requires funding, raise fund, but it's no point you work so hard to build a company and end of the day you only 10% of the company. Okay, when I went for an IPO, we were holding 96% of the company. Okay, and we actually made money during our IPO. But at the same time, people also made money because through the ESOP. The idea is like how much you hold and how much you dilute is a very critical aspect, and people really need to understand they do all hard work, and end of the day, investor will make lots of money out of that.
Yeah.
So it is your baby. You also make sure that you enjoy the hard work by generating enough money when you actually see your product has really worked well and generating enough money. But end of the day, you are not holding any larger chunk of equity and you're left behind.
Wonderful. So all the entrepreneurs, this is the secret recipe for success. Thank you so much. And now let's switch some gears and get to know you a little better with some rapid fire questions. Should CEOs be managers or innovators?
Innovators.
Something you're surprisingly good at?
Singing.
Wonderful. One thing you wish you'd done differently?
Maybe sports business. I could have won a women IPL team, but didn't got the enough strategy towards that. So maybe I can say that.
Great. One technology you think is overhyped?
AI.
What are you most proud of, both personally and professionally?
I'm proud of what I've achieved, but I'm more proud of what my people have achieved. So, and personally, I think I'm a father of 3 daughters, and my elder one has started her own startup, and it's good to see that entrepreneur journey is going the next step. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's so good. A startup you admire most, other than Route Mobile, of course?
Probably Zomato.
Great. And my last one would be, although you've answered it, if you weren't in this business, what would you be doing?
Oh, I'll be playing cricket.
Wonderful. That's so good. So thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you, ma'am.
Rajdip Gupta. And I'm sure you are enjoying the IMA 32nd conclave here.
Right.
And we are all privileged to have you amongst us.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.